One of our Lightwood logging outposts is late with their weapon shipments. They used to be punctual, but now we are lacking crucial supplies. Go check on the camp. Something must be going on.
That boy Kovu stormed out of here without even trying a single step. He thinks he has got 2 left feet, but he isn't even willing to try. You look like an impressive fighter. He'll respect you for that. Maybe he just needs the right dance partner to show him these steps. Help him out.
Rukari, my fighting instructor, is forcing us all to attend these dance lessons. Something about discipline and coordination and the dance of battle. But I would rather be anywhere else than here. This whole thing is pointless.
That boy still needs a lot of practice, but you helped him get out of his head and just feel the rhythm.
The little girl keeps her voice low, making sure her father doesn't overhear.
My friends are going out to play down where day-shade lilies grow, but I am supposed to do a bunch of boring apothecary stuff. Papa wants me to collect some plants to make salves and balms we use for healing. I asked if it could wait, and he said no. What if you helped me out? Just this once, please. Did you get all of them? All in perfect condition. Maybe you should be the apprentice instead.
My daughter is incredibly gifted with plants and recipes, but she could not stay focused if her life depended on it. And I am worried one day it will with all that is going on in this crazy world. I do not want to be harsh on her, but she needs to master these skills. The salves and potions we make keep people safe, keep them alive.
Vakala sent you. She was right to think this place was dangerous. Be on your guard, adventurer. This swamp is thick with murlocs. They already took our cargo and Tolbani's life. Keep your weapon ready. Me and Tolbani had loaded a skiff with medicine, steel, and food to bring upriver to the forward camp. It was meant to be a quiet run, no trouble, and no eyes on us. But in the shallows, the Murlocs came swarming out of the reeds, all foam and teeth. They hit us hard, too fast to fight back proper. We tipped and lost the cargo. I barely made it to shore. Tolbani didn't. I dragged his dart-riddled body here. The Murlocs must pay for what they have done. While I was limping back from the river, I spotted a few of the Murlocs dragging our food bags through the mud. They weren't working together either. Kept snapping at each other, trying to snatch the best pieces for themselves. I saw one of them stash a whole satchel behind a fallen tree. Another buried something under a pile of rocks. Greedy little monsters think they can steal from us and get away with it. Our boat didn't ground on its own. We were fighting the Murlocs, and then suddenly we were in the air. That's when I saw him. One that wasn't like the rest, bigger, stronger. When he attacked, the other Murlocs scattered. He picked up our boat like it weighed nothing and hurled it on the rocks. I've never seen a Murloc do something like that. We're gonna keep losing people and supplies. If that muscle-bound Murloc is watching the river. Do you hear that? It is quiet. That is the sound of vengeance. I saw the small ones run away in terror. Well done, adventurer. I will have to take what is left of the supplies back on foot. The boat. It is no good now. The hull's cracked, and the frame split. Won't carry another soul across the water. But it'll still serve one final purpose. It can be his pyre. We will burn it, the weapons, the armor he wore. Everything with him. Vengeance is done. Now, we let the fire take him to the Loa and to his rest. I hope it brings his spirit peace, and mine.
Be welcome within my kingdom, traveler. Peace and prosperity be upon you.
King Misturgle lowers his voice to a whisper.
You have to help me. I came here to study the Murlocs of Zulaman, but they were attacked by another tribe and rallied around me when I defended them. Now they think I am their god or lower or something. I don't know how to be a god. I barely know how to be a Murloc in this costume. And I am pretty sure this is a professional. No, as a researcher too. These Murlocs have come to me, the Loa of the Murlocs, to seek my protection against an evil invader. The Deepfin have risen from the abyssal depths of the ocean. They have invaded this land and defiled its grounds. I charge you, champion, to defend this kingdom and drive the Deepfin back into the sea.
King Misturgle lowers his voice to a whisper.
Get rid of the invaders, and maybe the natives won't need me to protect them, and I can leave. I have heard your mysticals. My people, your stomachs gurgle in hunger. The invaders have cut you off from the food you so desperately need to survive. I will send my champion to gather fish, so you may fill your bellies once more.
King Mr. Gale lowers his voice to a whisper.
Or you can just give me fish, if you have some. My fellow Murlocs, one among you is chosen to be my chosen. She is destined for greatness, and is my assistant. Her priestess. Yes, priestess of the Loa. Your priestess has gone missing, possibly taken by the treacherous Deepfin. To showcase my great power, I will send my champion to find and return her to you.
King Misturgle lowers his voice to a whisper.
My assistant is missing, and I am stuck here. Find her and tell her I am on top of the temple.
The Earth Mother. Do you know where King Mr. Gull is? We were hiding in a small ruin observing the native Murlocs. But when I went to spy on the deep-fin Murlocs, I was discovered and chased away. When I returned to our camp, King Mr. Gull was gone, and the invading Murlocs had swarmed the area. I eventually had to hide here for my own safety. Do you know where he went? Did he get captured? I am King Mr. Eskil's assistant. You can call me Gweriel, because of my interest in Murlocs. I was assigned to assist King Mr. in his research. This is actually my first assignment. Of course, in order to remain incognito, I have to wear a Murloc costume as well. You can imagine how difficult it is for a Tauren to fit into one of these. I can barely zip it up all the way.
Are you finished?
King Mr. Girl clears his throat when he sees one of his followers, eyeing him suspiciously.
I mean, it is finished. The deep fin shall trouble us no more. My kingdom is ready for a feast. Are you prepared? Witness the power of my champion. Be fed, my people, and hunger no more. You found her, thank you, I mean, the Loa of Murlocs grants you favor, champion. I've observed the Deepfin kidnapping native Murlocs and raising troll corpses as undead thralls. But they don't push further inland. They take them all back to the sea. I think they're being led by a powerful Murloc who remains safely offshore, hiding from view as it accepts its minions' tribute. We can draw it out. If you put on this Murloc suit and offer tribute, it might fool a leader into showing itself. If we eliminate the leader, we might be able to save the native Murlocs. The leader was a Cobus. What is a Cobus? I mean, well done, hero. You have served your lower well. Now that these Murlocs are safe, it is time for us to be going.
This path is thick with Nalden.
Zuljara smiles broadly.
I hope they try to stop us. I can sharpen my blade on day bones. Naldin are giants who normally dwell in the forest caves to the north. They would have been better off staying put. Now they are in my way, and we are short on time, so they have to go. My uncle, Deloa Speaker, spoke of Dahashi when I was a child. But when Deloa remained silent so many years, I do not think he would admit it, but he lost a little faith too. I remember some of his lessons. A chieftain must light the shrines on the way to the temple. Dihashura must as well. Why, I do not remember. But if it is the only way to get Deloa's favor, come, let us get this out of the way. I do not know Deloa Akilzon, but she cannot be happy with the Nalden Defalindi Hashi shrines and market meals of her Eagle King. We gotta let them know this is a sacred place, and that we will not take kindly to their presence here. I may not know the Akilzon, but I know giants. All they understand is strength.the language of Zulaman. Our strongest message we can send is to take the heads of their fiercest warriors.
Zuljara regards the Nalden as a fierce, nomadic people that normally keep to themselves. It is clear by their clothing and weapons that they have a primitive but unique culture. If the circumstances were different, I would advocate for diplomacy. But they are between us and our mission. They cannot block our path, or continue to damage the shrines, or the nests of the eagles that roost here. We will eliminate only those that are in our way. The Amani can choose what to do with them later. Good. Hopefully that clears the path to the shrines and the temple enough for our purposes.
The shrines are lit. Now what do we do? Take their heads. How painful D-method is between you and whatever force you worship.
Zuljara takes one of the heads by the hair and admires your handiwork.
Now we're talking their language. Now they know Dat Damani are stronger. Some may linger, but when we defeat the Twilight's blade, we will come back for them. Keep the heads. I have an idea how D might be useful later.
Zuljara's brow furrows and her lip curls as she looks toward the temple.
When we lit the last shrine, some of the eagles returned to the temple. It could be a sign.
Zuljara scoffs.
Or the eagles moving in after Denalden started moving out. When we get to the temple, all we gonna find is silence. Just like always. But we still gonna try. We should go now and present an offering.
Though she feigns indifference, I feel there is still a deep desire in Zuljara to see her gods finally appear.
Conviction, faith, to follow a Killzon, you must have both. A Killzon, the Golden Eagle, soars high as the Lady of the Daytime Sky. We call her by many names. The Keen-Eyed and Keening the Golden Spear, the Sojourner, the Mistress of the Eastern Sky, the Amani call upon her to bless and raise up the line of royal chieftains. To bless the commitments, bonds, and marriages of their people. To find what is lost, improve our sight, clear the skies and lead the way ahead, and most of all, grant us victory.
That voice, you heard it too. We got her attention, but now what? I know there is a trial, but a Killzon is not given any hints on what it is. Think, what did Kinduru teach me as a child? She is the Loa of victory, but also of oaths and conviction. If only we had made it to D-Top when I was a child, and I hadn't fallen.
Well done, Sujara. Kinduru was right about you.
All this time. You were right here. Why didn't you answer us?
Because of your grandfather, Zul'jin, and that snake of a witch doctor, Malakras. Long ago, we Loa would choose a champion among the Amani, a Hashe, to wield our power for the good of their people. Zul'jin wanted to use that power again, not to serve his people, but to slaughter his enemies. We would not grant such a blessing. So he had Malakras steal it from us and make their own false, abhorrent Hashe.
But our own champions raided the temple city and stopped them.
So now all Amani must suffer for my grandfather's mistakes? If you don't help us fight the cult.
You passed my trial, Sujara. You have my favor. Now you just need the others.
Need them for what?
To become the first Hashe in generations. What else? Prove to the Loa that you are not your grandfather. Triumph where he failed. Become Hashe, a true Hashe, and wield the power of the Loa in defense of Zulaman.
I think of the Amani as my children. But children some... We did not abandon the Amani.
Zuljara's eyes are closed. She seems lost in thought.
They were here all along. It was my grandfather's fault they would not answer.
She nods her head and sighs.
My grandfather broke this. It is up to me to fix it. It is the only way to save my people.
Zuljara smiles slightly as a Killzon's blessing buffets her.
Kinduru's stories were real. We have the blessing of a Killzon, and the path of the Hashi stretches out before us. We must follow a Killzon's advice and seek out Halasi next. As a Killzon is the Loa of the ruling tribe Dr. Amani, and my family, Halasi, is the Loa of the Witherbark and their leaders. If their Loa speakers are gone, then maybe Kulamara will know how to approach him. In a single moment, all I've come to know is put into doubt. It is a good time to have D-Journey to focus on.